Whew! I'm sure you already heard the news, but we're getting even more Amphibia content. A 10-issue graphic novel called Amphibia Strange Voyage. But what can we expect from this story? Let's theorize for a bit. So let's talk about the title. What is this strange voyage? Well, obviously it's probably going to be that new continent that was discovered at the end of the show that Sprig was about to go and explore. And considering that at the end of Marcy's journal, there was hope that a portal was going to open up for the Calamity girls to go back in and see Amphibia, yeah, they're going to have a nice touching reunion. That is a lot of the obvious that's going to happen. But what will be the main plot? Considering how Amphibia was written, I'm thinking it will start off as, we're exploring this nice new land, and then they accidentally unleash an ancient evil. I'm thinking maybe some sort of ancient monster or being that the core themselves locked away because it was a threat to them as well as everything else. But now that the core is destroyed, there's nothing there to keep it sealed up. And then they wander off and they accidentally release it, and then boom, got the new villain. I'm definitely going to look forward to this villain because Amphibia's previous villains were really up there and very, very, very crazy, so this one has to be insane. But to combat this new villain, will the girls have their Calamity powers again? I doubt it. I doubt that new stones will be formed for the girls to use. But I do see something happening in 3 ways. 1, the girls don't get their powers anymore, and they're just human. 2, Anne specifically gets power straight from the Guardian, because she does have somewhat of a connection to it, so they would probably grant Anne maybe some sort of power. Or 3, they get a completely new power from this new land. What that's going to look like, we're probably going to have to see. I mean, if it does come true, like I've said, we're theorizing. Now, that is the most I think I can come up with as far as the main overall plot, given the little information we have of it. But there are definitely a few scenes that have to happen. For example, when Sasha comes back, her relationship with Percy and Braddock didn't end the best, so her coming back, she could have some closure and apologize to them, and they can make up. That's something that we can absolutely look forward to, along with a general reunion of the best pairings from Sprig and Anne, Sasha and Graham, and etc, etc. Another thing I would love to see is Marcy and Andreas. They have a complicated relationship. Obviously, Marcy actually does not hold a grudge, and it was clear that Andreas did in his own way care for Marcy. So them meeting up and maybe even having a much more deeper heart-to-heart instead of that quick goodbye might actually be something that could be fleshed out. Another thing is that maybe the Calamity girls don't have to be the only humans to go to the Amphibia. Can you imagine if Anne's parents go to Amphibia? It would be very funny. Another piece of Amphibia lore that actually connects to Gravity Falls lore is the journal that was in the library, produced by, what was it, Professor P or something like that, and it had the information about the music box and even Bill Cipher. And we need to know who wrote that, how did they know about the music box, and etc, etc, because it's obviously either going to be Uncle Ford or maybe even Dipper Pines, and this is a published version of one of the journals. And considering how heavily Gravity Falls crosses over with Amphibia, you had the whole episode with Frog Uncle Stan, of course this journal here with Bill Cipher, and even at the end of the book of Bill, in that whole therapy prison place where Bill is at currently, the core is there too. So perhaps we'll get some information on how all of this connects. So I hope we get that. Maybe not a full crossover, because I would like this to be a standalone Amphibia book, but some explanation on that lore would be amazing. Now, this being a graphic novel, I could see this being a lot more mature. I mean, Amphibia got away with some stuff, and we know what they got away with. But considering that you could get away with a lot more in comic books, I mean, look at the Book of Bill. Yes, Gravity Falls is a dark show, but the Book of Bill is a little scarier. And considering what they did in even just True Colors alone, I would prepare yourselves and brace yourselves for something truly shocking that you would not expect to be even shown on the Disney Channel. Now, one thing I do look forward to is the new amphibians that we'll get to see. Not just individual characters, but the type of frogs. Because we've had newts, we've had different varieties of amphibians. We've had the glass frog. We've had a lot. And what I look forward to is their creativity with their character designs when it comes to new amphibians. For example, did you know there's an amphibian, I forget its real name, but just Google the Wolverine frog. It's a real frog. Not only does it have sideburns like the Wolverine, when it is threatened, it breaks its finger bones to make makeshift claws to fight with. We could have a Wolverine frog. I mean, Disney owns Marvel. Just put a Wolverine frog in Amphibia. It will be the funniest and coolest thing, I guarantee you. But yeah, if you can't tell, I'm looking forward to this, and I know you are too. As they come out, I'll try to make videos about them, about the characters, about the lore, about the story. This is going to be fun, like I just said, and yeah, let's look forward to more Amphibia.